Hello and welcome back to Motorsport Manager. We are starting off 2017, surprise, with a trip to the Black Sea. We're going, as we saw on the previous live stream, for P4 in the Constructors' Championship. Our car-wise, well, we don't really know where we stand, so we're just going to go into this, hope for above 8th. That is about the best we can do. Let's just make sure all sponsors are ticked off and everything. Yes. Parts wise, there's not really much we can do in here. Not yet anyway. It's all pretty much spec at the moment. We're waiting for HQ to be finished building. But off we go to Sochi, aka the Black Sea. And here we are in the Black Sea that looks suspiciously a bit like Denmark. But let's not get bogged into details such as this. Here we are on the selection. We have Santor and we've got Varnanen ready to roll out here. Let's have a look. Let's cancel that one because that's not what we meant to do. We wanted to see this here. So everything's looking medium. That's great. We will just send them out here at the moment. Quite hot, so we'll just send them out as it stands. We'll take the practice, of course, get some data on board for the team, and send these guys out on a quick installation lap and see where we stand as they do so. I should have saved setups from last year. That would have made this a bit easier, but oh well, we'll try and remember that this time round. And I forgot to bring them in because I'm an idiot, as you all know. So there, at the very least, getting some information from Santor and now Varnanen that the gear ratios look about right. So it's a fairly middle of the road circuit. In here we go. Wow, this is actually looking pretty strong out of the box. Any setups out here that we can load up? Oh, these are old from a different setup. So anything out here? Yeah, I used to just save them all up in my first couple of save throws, but we are with none of these. We have Firebird. That's a great name. But no, I don't think we have anything. Date-wise, I'm not sure about these dates. Because obviously not, because it's not 2022. So fair enough. Yeah, we don't have any setup saved, so we'll just crack on here. See, 92, however, that is a very good starting point. We can just tweak here a little bit. And we just need to also tweak the cambers right here so we get the right thing going. Meanwhile, yeah, we'll keep them on the softs. I reckon that might be where we spend the race duration on. Let's try likewise here. Increase downforce to fair old whack. And see if that is what we need. We just need to also bring back... No, let's just keep that medium out here. We need to bring it back. There we go. This is it. This might be the sweet spot for Varnanen as we look again out here on the soft tyres. So they'll head out now, give us some data. Hopefully very useful information to us as they're out circulating. We're not going to go to the top of the screens. It has no real benefit to be top of the screen or timing stands right now. So we'll just run through here. Aero feeding much nicer, aero feeding much nicer. So yes, all in all, they're both fairly happy with what we're giving them. Gear ratios are happy as well. Let's just bring them in here for a quick checkup and send them out on a final stint. In they come. Yeah, handling wise, I think we've gone back a bit here on the handling. Let's see, yeah, that was great. So we want to perhaps just incur a bit more oversteer. And that should be everything we need. 6-lap stint on the same set of tyres. No point really spending any more tyres. A bit more work with the Varnanen, however. It is an improvement. Excellent. So that was excellent. So that tiny bit of tweak. So she wants a bit more oversteer. And we definitely want to then increase the gearing. And then do it like this. That might be the sweet spot for Varnanen. Give her 6-lap stint as well on the same set of tyres. That is the maximum right there. So Varnanen's definitely not very kind to her tyres. We know that. We'll just have to hopefully see some useful info coming in here. Santor's definitely providing a lot of good input to the team. So that in respect's looking good. And yeah, we're getting some great feedback coming in here that the car is absolutely nailed in. And both are up to high set of knowledge. I don't know if we're going to get to the top here of soft tyres. Oh, we are! So we've now maxed out our knowledge here for the first time. Very good stuff right here as a practice ends. And it's looking good. Downforce, everything looks absolutely superb from our two drivers, even if the time we see here doesn't really reflect it. Apparently, I am pretty cool. Good fashion sense. Mate, I'm wearing the oldest pair of sweat trousers I have right now. Literally, the elastic waistband has fallen out. They're discoloured and everything. It's fucking bank holiday today. I'm not seeing anybody. I'm just going to be fucking comfortable. Don't judge me. Anyway, we'll go ahead here. We will slam on our tyres and the setup in right here with the perks. Anyway, let's have a look here and see. 98. I mean, fucking hell, mate. That is absolutely bitchin'. So let's go in here with Simone Santor. Very good dry. We call that very good dry. That'll give us the information we need. Happy with this. What are we looking at? We're looking at a session length of 30 laps. What about fuel use? 12. So yeah, I reckon we want to be running the soft tyres out here. But we don't know about the weather, of course. That is a factor to take into account. What about you? Yeah, you're 97, so that's just one bit off. So we'll go ahead, we'll save that one as well. Oh dear, pardon me. Save this one as well. Varnanen, very good dry. We know that. Now, tyre choice. Maybe we want to mix it up with her. Get her starting. No, we want to split it off out here because fuel-wise, we're looking 12 laps. So we can split it off into 10-lap segments, of 3 10-lap segments. Seems like the good option right here. However, let's just make sure. Actually, no, we might want to try and mix it up with Santor, given that she is starting second position, to get her short-fueled early on. Get her to run it first of all, so she can maybe try and get the most out of it. That's looking good. Let's give this one a go as we're now in here. William Evans on pole position, Simone Santor starting second, Sergio Haldez, and then Petra Schrober, Nick Shue, who should definitely be a character in LCPDFR, Mustafa El Sadat, Maya Vardanen, Kotso, Masiela, and Jean-Pierre Girard, and Ines Santa Ana running out the top 10 as we're now on the line. 3, 4 lights, 5 lights. They're out and away we go. 30 laps around Sochi. That's very angular down here. What can we do? We're battling for first. Yes, into first for Santor. We're not going to be pushing the engines too hard today. First race, we're just going to have to mind this. Maybe get them to work the tyres a bit as temperatures are looking fairly cold. But Santor's in the lead. It's not a very big lead. Vardanen's dropping a couple of positions. Hopefully she'll be able to get them back. She's starting to form the lead of a train, it appears. Tyre temperatures are dropping a little bit. So initially it appears the gamble for Supersoft for Santor has paid off, as Vardanen is dropping to 11th to 13th. He's not having a good start to the season. Any indication in terms of the car? No. Up here everything's looking fine. We want to just be careful about upping the wear rate on the cars. There's just really no benefit in doing so. Vardanen has been overtaken by a bunch of drivers on the softs. So, fair enough. And now Schrober's gotten past. She's definitely been minding the tyres a bit better. So let's get her off the tyres a bit. Maybe get her to conserve tyre a little bit. Also get you back over to neutral in Vardanen in 13th. So yeah, second place. We've been slightly demoted into second place, but we will have to take that with Santor. Vardanen is down there. Yeah, we're being passed by people on soft tyres, it appears. Or super softs, whilst we were on soft. And now we got Santor complaining about tyre wear. Let's bring her in, give her a set of soft tyres with 22 laps remaining, so that should split evenly. So get her now to absolutely thrash it around. She can absolutely wear out these tyres, something fierce. Let's see it here. We will be the first one in with her. And then Varnanen can go ahead and extend a little bit here, do another couple of laps, I would imagine. And now we just need her to not be so aggressive with the tyres. You're starting to struggle with tyre weight. You're going to have to do another couple of laps here, Guy. Or, you know, not Guy, but whatever it is, Guy can be... Doesn't matter. We're doing something here that's far more important than that. We are managing here just one more lap, I would imagine. Down here. Oh no, we are on lap 10, so let's bring her in. We're calling her late, but we're not going to do a chip Ganassi anyway. So let's just get a bit easy here. We can just run the engine a bit lean and look after the parts as well, so that might actually be beneficial for us. So in comes Varnanen for a new thread of soft. New thread of soft? Yeah, threads now on her tyres. No, new set of softs. Santos lost positions in the cycle. It's fairly apparent now. She's down to 5th. But we're just going to have to see where this leads at the end. It's not really now that matters. It's, of course, by the end of the race. We'll just go ahead now and get her back over onto medium now. She's looked after the engine a bit. We just need them both to get to about 20 laps remaining. We might be able to extend Varnanen just a bit and get her on a set of softs or super softs to the end. Santos climbing up now, so there's definitely been some issues with regarding to that. Now Varnanen's starting to see some gearbox issues. Let's just examine that. Yeah, that's looking pretty worn out in fairness. But we just have to try and hope that we can make it through. Others are starting to struggle as well down there. Others are pitting in for super softs, so they're definitely going for a 3-stop, but they can't make it to the end now. We're reaching the critical lap time with regard to fuel coming up now, so we could actually bring her in. Your tyres are wearing down and engine's starting to wear out a bit as well. What about Santos? She's on a 10-lap stint. You're going to have to hold out here, and we might have to do some repairs onto the car. No, somebody else has retired. Let's bring in Santos. Slam on a pair of softs for you. Fuel-wise, we'll have 10 laps remaining. Now we have to kind of take a gamble here if we want to try and leave her out with a damaged engine. That's 21 seconds. That's going to drop her a fair bit down. I'll definitely take her out of the points hunt, so we'll just have to try and keep her out. Even though it's risky, maybe just turn down her engine a bit as well. Just get her to back it up. You're struggling with your gearbox, that's okay. We'll definitely not be pushing here towards the end of the race. It's simply just not risky. Well, it's too risky, in fact. Let's see down here, parts, you're down to 13. It will bring you in. How many laps remaining? 11 laps, yeah. Another sort of softs out here. Not really fill you up, just leave you a bit short. We'll see where this leads. It's a bit risky, I will admit. How much? That's 20 seconds. That drops you way down. It's just not worth going for. We just have to try and bring them in and be mindful of this and get them to just mind the car for these last 10 laps. It could all come back and bite me in the backside ever so horribly. We'll just get them out here to just conserve a bit, and we'll run it to the end and see what happens. Engine's still looking at 13, 19. It's risky. Yes, and Tool's gearbox now saying it's been low down to 7%. Not really. You're just going to have to make do. You're just going to have to make do here. We just need some good finishes to happen now. Others are pitting in with damage, so we're pushing it. I have no idea how this is going to work out. This could all go horribly wrong for us, as we are on lap 23. Let's see here, Santos down to 7%, 13. You're down to 11% gearbox. It's very tight here. 6 laps remaining. And Martinez retired with mechanical failure. So that's one car out. Again, it was risky. It was very risky indeed. So 5 laps to go for Santor, who has to take in some points now for us and just make it last. 4 laps remaining. Come on, you can do it, girl. I believe in you. You can definitely do this. And now the leader's pitting. Oh, Santos out, double retirement. Arse. Arse. The only positive to take away from this really is we had 5 retirements, I do believe, 5 retirements, and several people that were running very slow indeed. And the fastest lap came there, time penalty. So yeah, we had problems. That wasn't the best start, not what we needed at all. We are 10th in the championship. So I'd expect morale and all of that to take a bit of a hit, but we did get a nice and good payout here for our efforts. We're just going to have to get stuck in with reliability improvements right there. That's our main issue. I don't even think I worked the car particularly hard there. It was just one of those first lap race. Pit crew review, we did a decent job. Car condition update 47 hours. That's a significant chunk, isn't it? Let's try and have an interview here. Silver Racing's outspoken chairman told reporters that you're totally inept. Any thoughts? I prefer not to stoop to her level. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. You can shove her opinion where it doesn't shine. He can shove her opinion... What? That... What? Anyway, yeah, I'll not stoop to that level, really. You know, no point really getting bogged down with it. Meanwhile, in here, we can probably try and swap some of these out as well. We get happening into that position. We can put you like working the front jack, so let's get you working the... Is that the front jack? I've no idea why there's such a difference between working the front and the rear jack. I would imagine it's exactly the same job, really, that you do. But apparently, he finds it very difficult to operate the rear jack. Anyway, we'll swap those out. See down here tyre-wise. We can pop in another one on you. And that's looking good. Meanwhile, the car will have to be repaired, of course. We are just waiting down here. Car repair complete. And we have an upgraded factory coming in soon as well. So that'll be very good indeed. We are working on reliability on brakes. Let's go off the brakes. They were not the parts that we struggled with. It was engines and gearboxes that we need to improve. An engine and a gearbox right here is what we need to improve first and foremost. That will help with the new factory that's coming in now, actually. So yeah, indeed, we've got level 2 factory. We are now absolutely bang on in the middle in terms of factory. We have got a fairly decent amount of money here, but we're not really going to spend it. We are in fact going to take advantage though and start improving reliability on pretty much all the parts that we can that are low. Let's see, in terms of parts, we're decent. Again, we're struggling with brakes. So can we get a brake facility? No, that's 8 grand. We're not really going to drop that, but what we can do is go in here, develop a new set of brakes. That is where we are struggling. So if we do that, we can go ahead, and that's really good actually. That's going to be a significant increase out here for that. That would be what we do then. So build this. Absolutely top stuff. Brakes are crucial for stopping the car. And our specs overall looks very good. We have a lovely email from Gazzetta del Motore, who says that Simone's and talk lady hasn't forgotten her roots. I mean, she's 25. I doubt they would in that short amount of time. Anyway, the Italian driver took time out of a busy schedule to teach a group of youngsters certain tips and tricks, such as the best racing lines and ideal braking techniques. You put the pedal to the floor. Very technical right there by Santor, but it has paid off. Let's just get some scouting done on some of the young meat. Because we've got Alan. I mean, I'm definitely willing to hire somebody called Alan. Just for the fact that, you know, you can have a young driver called Alan. I mean, how many young people are called Alan? Also, Yaltman. Absolutely. We're going to scout out Yaltman. We're going to probably hire him just out of the name itself. Let's see here. Brakes build finished. We need to work on the reliability for those brakes. We can probably pop you off and then get cracking here with reliability on those brakes. So Polly Barker's working very hard on sorting that out. in the reliability field. Meanwhile, yeah, we'll just try and get everything else sorted out, and hopefully we'll take advantage. Leaked information! No! We caught Carlos Guerrera trying to sneak information out of the garage. He might have been going to leak it to some of the other teams. What should we do? We can fire him. Out here, a fine should suffice. We have to... Who's Carlos Guerrera? Who is that? Let's have a look here and see. Oh, that's a race mechanic. You absolute son of a whore. Yeah, you're fired, mate. Yeah, I mean, you don't really have to pay any fees for that, do you? So race mechanics, who's available? First of all, availability will be the most crucial thing out here. We've got Becky Kiwagawa. Let's get her in, because she hasn't fucking leaked any information, and she's gonna be improving a fair old bit. Let's approach her, start negotiations. Wages are important to you. You're fairly good, so okay, let's give you this. Let's actually give you this. You prefer a long contract? Yeah, I mean, you're going to have lots of improvement, Becky. You'd like a nice signing on fee. I mean, we got a fair amount of dosh, mate. Oh, wow. You don't want a big signing off fee, then. Bonus as well. I mean, if we get a top 4, you can get 30G. Let's see if she's willing to take that, because that could be very good. Let's hit. What? I can't believe you followed me. You were trying to do a Spygate. For fuck's sake, go jog on, mate, you absolute prick. So yeah, we're suffering in terms of staff. Our HQ's looking good. Driver-wise, we might actually be struggling a little bit. So we definitely want to keep open out here. Pause. Let's just have a look here and see what we get. Upcoming race report, 29 lap race. Sunday, there's a 40% chance of rain. Average speed corners. So suspension should be good, and we are definitely one of the good ones. Factory feedback from our temporary. I've been wondering if there's money. We literally just upgraded the factory, ya cow. And here we are, contract renegotiation with Becky, and we need her to pretty much just agree to this very quickly, because we're going to have absolutely nothing for the next one. Wages are important to me. Right, let's give you just the full Monty. You're happy. Nice signing on fee. Just give you that. That's all we can do. Boom, boom, boom. I want you in my room. Well, I technically want you working. That's what I want you to do. Because, yeah, you're crap, to be fair. But you're not really meant to be good. You're just a placeholder person. Polly is very good indeed. Very close to unlocking level 2. So we will have to wait and see where that leads to. Anyway, we'll go ahead and see. No, she's not going to be there. She's just not going to be with the team for this race. So, yeah. That's annoying. But what can we do? What can we do? We will indeed go for you. No, let's go for Wonderluck, because they'll give us a big old payout if it works out. It's worth taking a risk, especially early on, as the car is still looking pretty bad. We can probably have a look here, and we might actually want to give her the new brakes. They are better. Those about as reliable. So yeah, that'll be about it. And reliability and crucial components look fairly good for now. So let's head to Munich. And it's indeed raining for practice on Friday. We will. Why don't we put in her in that car, just to give some test running into her, and then put Vardanen into the other car. Weather-wise, it's just going to get wetter and wetter and wetter. So we definitely want some more acceleration in here. We probably also want to just bang in a bit of downforce. Don't know if the weather actually affects that, but we'll give it a go out here. Certainly, yeah, downforce, certainly with Vardanen. We'll just bang that in here. Likewise with you, just improve for acceleration. Get you out on the inter so we get some data on both sets of tyres. We'll take the practice, of course. Always worth getting the info. We're not really losing much, I think, with sending out Key here. The only thing really is some of the perks is the only thing we're going to lose out on, but I don't really see that mattering with the relationship being as young as it is between Santor and her placeholder engineer. So Vardanen really will be our bet this weekend. Let's just course, let's just remember to bring you guys in because I forgot to do that, obviously. Yeah, Varnanen got in time. Doesn't really matter what we find out with the other driver that I forgot the name of. But yeah, we've got a decent baseline right here. We might want to give a bit more aero, see if that's the right direction to go in. You know what, we might want to just also try and bang you out here and see if we can perhaps just get you looking right here. I'm not sure if this is the right way to go, but we're going to try it out. You'll stay out on the inters, right? Because yeah, it's definitely starting to peter off, so we'll see what we get out of that. With 8 minutes to go, we'll see what we can bring out of this. Aero's feeling great for Key. Let's see it here. So that's a very good baseline setup for her, actually. 87%. Good, good, good. Good, good, good. Let's try and take some of the aero out. Just to see where that leaves her. We do want her to produce some info for us. And we'll get you over onto a set of soft tyres for me, if you will. Thank you. We can see what she produces. And if she's happy, some feedback early doors would be good. But I'm not necessarily sure we're going to get it. Downforce looking great, so we probably went in the wrong direction for Key. Let's try and bring her in real quick and see feedback. Yeah, that's why we brought her in. The downforce changes definitely didn't help her out. So, let's see. Taking the aero out was the wrong way to go. We're going to increase that. Otherwise, it's looking fairly good. It is minor tweaks that we are seeing here. So we'll try and actually send her out on this setup and see what we get if she's happy with the balance. Downforce, of course, will play into our top speed, so that's going to cost her. Speed balance seems to have gotten worse. Let's bring her in, try and mix it up a bit and see what we can do for Varnanen here. I'm not 100% sure I know which way to go with her. But we'll find out. Maybe she just needs a bit more in terms of gears. So, yeah. It's definitely gears. Drop it down a bit. Like that. That should be it for her. I reckon she's going to be a happy bunny right now if we send her out there. We might actually unlock intermediate tyres here. I set up performance boost, so let's try and go for that, even though the conditions aren't to that. That could benefit us in the race on Sunday if the weather plays out that way. We'll have to wait and see. Can we change the speed balance back in? We're just going to have to make do and see what we get out of her for now. Final minute of the session. Gearing is weird. We should run longer setups. Right, okay, so we definitely need to tweak it for the race, which we will do in a quick moment. We should start quite far up, however, for the race, given that we had a double retirement, which made us finish far down in the points, if I am not mistaken. Yeah, 4th and 2nd. So Santor, you can get intermediates and race trim. But we will have to work a fair old whack on the setup. Weather seems to be coming indeed. Car setup, you need to work on it definitely. The starting setup here was actually quite good. Let's use this setup as a baseline and see if we add in, right, a bit of downfalls, which is where you started being happy. But where were we with that? So we definitely want to be running that gearing. That might actually be it for Santor. Get you starting on the softs, given the fact that we know that weather is coming in. And it should be coming in around lap 7th. So we'll also run you a bit lighter on fuel. Meanwhile, here we're looking at a fairly decent setup, actually. We may have made it slightly worse. So let's try and just increase the gearing a bit for you. Tyre-wise, also starting out on soft tyres, running also light fuel load, so we can take advantage of the dry running as rain is predicted to come in later on. It'll be Mr. Moustache himself on pole, and we're second. And here we are on the start line. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights, and they're out. Away we go. 30 laps around Munich. What can we get out of it? Santor, mate, just push. Varnanen's up into first. So Vardanen is in first, now back into second place, battling with Rogers. Battling with Rogers out here. We are all on soft tyres at the front. But yeah, lap 7 is what everybody's looking at when the rain is going to come. Vardanen's now down to 4th. She's dropping. She's dropping, and conditions shouldn't be too much of a troublesome position. At her temperature's quite low, so we might be struggling with tyres. We have to just wait and see what develops out here. We might be able to get a decent result. We are expecting sponsorship to get a second place, and I am actually hoping we could get close to that this weekend with the rain, getting the stop done at the right time. Really, the temperature and the weather is what we're monitoring right here, right now. We just don't need to be dropping any more time. I mean, you don't really need to be moaning because you've just lost a position there. So we're now sitting in 5th. You can't get past Valdez. You can get a bit more aggressive with the tyres, if you will. Just try and get past and make it work. Tyre temperatures are definitely struggling. We're approaching the onset of rain. It is coming. It is nearly upon us. So what can we do with strategy? Nothing really is developing particularly much here right now. They're just sort of stabilising into 7th and 8th, which really isn't where we want to be. So we kind of just have to get working down here. What we can do, sitting now in 6th, so we're now jumping positions here as we're dealing with other users, but they're on medium and we're on quite warm tyres. Let's just take a pause out here. Let's bring in Vardanen, get her out onto Inters, because it'll take a little bit of time to reach that. Just fill her up entirely and pit her in. That'll be it for her. Just get her off that, just managing that. You will have to try and just make do one more lap. We can't double stack here. So bring you in this time round for a set of Inters for me, please. Thank you. Fill you up completely. Actually, do we want to go for Inters? I'm not sure we're going to go full wet. It'll be too long before the crossover for full wet, certainly. We'll just have to try and make do here. Get her to push as hard as she can. And we should be the first out on Inters. So now Vardanen has to make the most of this. First out on Inters. We'll see if Santor's lost or gained anything. They were neck and neck when Vardanen pitted, so they should work out likewise here. Let's see. Vardanen might have gained. Yeah, she will have gained significantly. Look at that. She'll be several seconds off the road. So Santor, unfortunately, being sacrificed a little bit for Vardanen here. But we are lying second of those that have stopped for Inters. So we should have a significant gain right here. As others are pitting in. Some are pitting in for repairs being carried out as well on the car. So that's significant. Let's see here how far down we drop. Oh, Rogers, though, looking good down here. 3rd position of those that have stopped. And we are taking time out of those that haven't stopped by a significant margin right now, as we are approaching wet on about lap 14. So we'll just try and keep them out here now and see what we can grow out of this race. Others are pitting in now. Let's see here. Yeah, we are lying 3rd. We are lying absolutely 3rd. After the pit cycle with Vardanen, and Santor has dropped 5 seconds plus in the stop cycle out here, with rain now approaching pretty high, but it's going to start petering off. I don't think we're going to go for full wet. I think we're going to try and stay on medium. So Vardanen meanwhile need to try and just hold position in 3rd and see if we can't make some gains with the final pit stop. There might be actually a couple more pit stops. Tire temps are super low. Yeah, try and just work them a bit harder. Massage some heat into them if you can, as the track is fairly wet. But we're just approaching the crossover really for the Inters. There's something wrong with the suspension at the moment. What else can we do here? It should stop raining actually. So I'm not quite sure really if Santor might be able to make some gains towards the end by going onto a dry tyre. I'm not sure what Vardanen... Oh, it's going to be so tricky with Vardanen to get her fitted in here. She's just got 2 laps remaining. We might have to pit her for a set of... That might actually be mediums for her towards the end. We'll have to just wait and see here. Let's just get her to work them hard and bring her in this time round. Vardanen, 11 laps remaining. I'm not sure we can get 11 laps out of a set of softs for her. So we're pitting her in literally on the limit of when she can make it to the end. So we're pitting her on the critical lap. That's very good indeed. Santor, meanwhile, will stay out here. She might actually benefit this time round as she runs a bit longer on these tyres. Just get her off them. So she might actually take a decent jump here now. Just get her to stop pushing when she comes out here. As we're now back into where the Inters are benefiting. And others are pitting in, it seems, for Inters. Meanwhile, we're going on to softs and mediums, so we might be able to do that here. Let's bring you in this time round. You'll be coming in here. You might actually be able to do it on a set of softs. Let's try it. Get you filled up down here with this down here. Part condition, we won't fix anything. But this is now very, very crucial for both drivers that they can make something out of this. Sabadow's pitted for mediums. And now we've got Santor coming in for soft, so this could go any which way, really. Vardanen, meanwhile, is dropping positions out here, still really struggling with the mediums, especially on mediums, cold mediums. They're not going to be nice at all in these conditions. Santor, meanwhile, pitting in, getting refueled. She has not really... She's gained significantly on Vardanen, but she should now come out here. Let's just allow the teammate through. We don't want them to be battling, given the fact that one's on medium, one's on soft here, so that's not going to play out very well indeed. The ride is screwed. You're just going to have to hold on there, Santor. There's nothing we can do. Let's see out here. Oh, we've dropped some positions out here, but some of these will have to pit. You haven't pitted yet. You will definitely need to pit again, and you'll need to pit again. You'll be a sitting duck. Yeah, here we go. I have no idea how this is going to work out for us. This could go any which way. I don't think we're going to finish high up in the order, as high up as we want to finish anyway. Vardanen's complaining about suspension being low, down to 15. You might just have to try and back it up a bit. No, just ignore that. You just have to hold on there. Make this work. This is getting scary. Yeah, you're just going to have to make it work, dear. You're just going to have to make this work. You guys need to start building up some tyre temperature. With 4 laps to go, we'll have to see how this develops. Vardanen is really starting to struggle a bit down here, 15%. It's going to be very close. Very close, but now we've got Schroevers retiring. Now Santor's complaining about suspension being low, so let's just get them off attack mode. Ignore, just stay out, stay out. There's 2 laps remaining, 2 laps remaining. Stay out, stay out. Yeah, I know you guys got parts issues, so you're just going to have to make it work. We're up into 4th and 5th. Yeah, Warntage, you're just going to have to make it work here, guys. It's the final lap of the race. So I don't think we're going to get the sponsor objective. It was optimistic, to be fair. But we are definitely going to be very happy with the 4th and 5th after the shambolic start at the Black Sea. Absolutely brilliant work there. Both drivers performing very well. And Santor, especially with a temporary race engineer taking her place after the scandalous uncoverings of her carless engineer that was stealing data from us. Yeah, 4th and 5th confirmed. No penalty. Only Peter Schroeber retiring late on. Meanwhile, yeah, 9th and 10th now up to in the championship. And we are making a huge jump in the Constructors' Championship up to 6th. So we are recovering. Indeed, we are. And yeah, we're looking very good now. A strong performance, especially as I was talking about before, from Santor with a new engineer, one that won't possibly be there for very long. So they don't have a relationship. She didn't drive either in the first session. So really, all in all, I think we can be very pleased about what we saw today. So what's the situation with the car? Yeah, not great. They're pretty worn out now. Slower pit stop. Do we have an interview? I mean, hopefully it'll be about how well we did. Which... Oh, piss off. Which one of our drivers better probably hurt? She'll be happy. Okay, so there's no negative consequences for the other driver for that statement. So let's rush through here. Car repair completed. New sponsorship coming in from Van Chai Industries with a decent one. We'll wait. We don't really need to sign anything just yet. Now we can start focusing again on improving parts. And you're working on that. Let's just get those off because they've been improved significantly. Let's get suspension improved. Let's also try and design a new part. What part can we go for? The next one, yeah, brakes. It's definitely where we are struggling brake-wise. So let's go with you. Deceleration 25 to max, which is a performance increase, so we can improve also build time. We'll increase the build time, we can increase the deceleration plus 25 and improve reliability. We can increase, so which one of those would be best? Definitely this one, because yeah, that's definitely a far better option because we can improve that one significantly later on. So that should be pretty much everything we need for brakes. A significant improvement that will help to catch up as well. We just need to get over here to Becky. Indeed, let's see if she's happy with the negotiations. The contract's looking good. Let's sign it. Indeed, we will sign and get you paired up with your driver so you can now start developing it. That's good. Very good. Very good indeed. She's a significant improvement here, Becky. Let's also have a look then with our parts improvement. Let's see here if... Now they look about equal here. Oh, and we have actually an open part that we can improve upon, which will be an engine, because we are swapping out brakes for another set. So let's go and improve engine here. Let's get working on this. Kitagawa to be Santosh new mechanic. Indeed she will. We have a scout report coming in. Let's have a look here and see what he says. Yatma would be... Ah, boo. He's got a good name though. I want to sign him because he's got a good name. Anyway. Okay, we've just lost all of our pit crew, repairs, spare people. Got it. Who else can we sign? We can hire on you. You are fairly decent, so let's get you in. Otherwise, they're all pretty rubbish from what I could see. To get you in here, can we add anybody that's... Yeah, these aren't very good. I'm not going to hire them because they're just going to make the team even worse than it currently is. So they'll just have to make do, really. So yes, indeed, the overview in general says that we are delivering below our target performance, but we are certainly on an upwards climb. And hopefully a strong performance at Milan should help change that around. We have got an interview about the Beijing. We can have a chat. I'm yet to decide which way to go, really. I have no particular interest, really. Who will benefit from this rule change? Well, yeah, we might just abstain. There's no point really in doing that. Quite frankly, I feel it's a bit weird that the European Racing Series would be going to, you know, Beijing. So we got Jane de Mole coming in with a target position. Which one are we going to benefit? We're probably going to benefit more from Van Chai Industries. Partly because it gives us an extra position to grab. Partly because we get an upfront payment. And it's only about 50,000 less. So, and that's a shorter deal, so we might be able to improve that. Let's go for that one. Try something different. Straight in there. So that's that one done. We should have brakes finishing right now so we can start improving these. Improve these brakes, if you will. The engine here is looking very good. So can you get improving these brakes for me? Thank you. Can we just scrub these out so you guys can just really work on improving these brakes? Thank you. We can fit those to a car. Let's see here, that'll be for Varnanen. So that should be 2 sets of brakes. They're performing equally out of the gate. The vote is now coming in here, what we can do politics-wise. I'm just gonna abstain, really. I don't care. It makes no difference to me where we race. And so, yeah, we're going there. Great, okay, sure, fine. Literally makes no difference to me. Happy, happy, happy. He's happy, and we can now do things out here. Report on the upcoming race at Milan, which is Monza. It'll be a 21 lap race, 40% chance of rain again. Yeah, and a staff centre would be nice. I do agree. Scouting report on Yuko Tamaru would be one of the top drivers. Her potential is good, and you can see her improving. Alan would be one of the top drivers. It's probably not worth sticking a huge amount, so that might be one to shortlist as well. Yuku, 18, and look at that performance. What's our current driver lineup looking like? Because Varnanen is 30 years old and she's coming up to end the season, so yeah, she might have to go just to try out something new and different, or yeah. So we're off to Milan right here, right now. Nothing really interesting here. We will sign on Vanchai Industries. We'll just make sure that parts are fitted correctly. Yeah, it looks to be about as good as it can be. Reliability is looking good now on these parts, and we have got strong brakes fitted to both cars. I'm not sure where we otherwise want to throw in our money in improving things. We might want to just... maybe we'll go for an engine for each car. That might be good. I'm genuinely not sure. We'll put in both drivers, both our main drivers anyway out here. And we will try now and just get the handling sorted out here. It might be one of those where it's just on the limit. Let's see here. Temperatures are quite high. You likewise then. We might want to just quickly bump you up a bit as well. We'll send them out here. I reckon this might be a low downforce circuit. Out on mediums. Away we go for the practice session. Send you both out here for an installation lap. Let's see what information we get out of this, if there's any sweeping changes we need to make. Hopefully we won't be on the back foot. I think we forgot to save the setup from last race. Oh, hello, look at this. This is looking good. Information being gleaned off of this, 90% to start off with. We might actually want to improve here again. As I suspected, that is right where we want to be. Maybe we want to do it like that. That might actually prove quite good for Santor. Meanwhile, we'll keep her on the... let's get her out on the soft. Let's try and get some data on the soft. This might be a kind of soft race for us. Varnanen, meanwhile, is slightly less happy about it. Okay, so yeah, it's definitely a downforce heavy circuit. Which is weird given it's based on Monza. But what do I know? Let's try and see if she likes it perhaps a bit more understeery. We can try and just get this sort of balanced out here. Boom. Also get you over onto the soft tyre, which might again be quite beneficial if it is wet. Because that might be a good tyre to go through if we have rain early in the race. Or rain stopping late in the race. So let's see here. Those downforce tweaks are great. Aero, great from both drivers. Happy with the aero. And here we're not seeing any rain popping up. Perhaps we want to bring you in then, seeing as you are now making a complaint here. Also bring in you so we can get both drivers sorted out here. Santor's coming in first to send you out here and see what the issue is. Regards to where we were slightly higher, so now we move towards, so we'll try and just bang you in here and see where you are. You are very happy with the downforce levels, so let's see, maybe just a bit more downforce, a bit more front wing, Send you out here on a 4-lap stint on the same set of soft tyres. You are very happy with your gearing, so yeah, we definitely want some longer gears. Even though we've dropped a bit in general where we've dropped understeer, so she might want it a bit over in that direction. Let's see here, 63. That's okay. And just again a bit more downforce, see if that's helping her out a bit. Send her out on the softs as well. We might want to bring in Varnon in just one more time. Get her in, set a lap. We'll just get her out here now and see if we have a lap done by her now. Boom, see if we get any feedback. Downforce has gotten a bit worse. Bring her in immediately then. See what we can glean out of this. In she comes. See down here, so we've definitely gone overboard with downforce. Let's try and go a bit more in. That was okay, that was good, and that was poor. And so that was boom. Let's see here in terms of that. That was excellent right there, so we definitely want to bang you back down towards that, because you were right there. No, just a bit more right there. And then I have no idea if she wants it to be... Let's just leave that where it was so we get some more info here. Get her out on the softs at her, keep her on that set of softs. Hopefully we get some info. Downforce fuels bang on for Santor. We'll take that one. Meanwhile, Varnonen's hopefully going to confirm that we've made some gains on her setup. Handling's awesome for Santor. Come on, Varnonen, give me some feedback. We need to know. Aero feels much nicer now, so we might have found a decent spot as we've reached level 3 race trim. We are quite far down the pecking order here, but that's alright. So it's Sunday and it is currently dry. What are we looking for? It's looking dry early doors. We'll just fit in the 2 perks that we can. Go straight in here. Temperature wise, it's going to be fairly toasty. Setup, let's see here. Oh, she's very happy. That is a good starting point. We'll save that one for delete you. Then go in Santor, Milan, D. Right, that's spelt wrong, isn't it? But anyway, we'll have to live with that. We're not going to take any greater risks down here. How long are you going to last? You're going to last 10 laps. So yeah, I don't think mediums are going to be particularly useful in this race. So definitely was a good idea to go for softs down here. That setup is very good. Very good indeed. So we'll save that one for Varnonen as well. There's no point really not doing so. Varnonen, Milan, decent dry, because there's still a bit of improvement to be found here. Tyre choice also soft fuel, 9 laps, which is going to make the race distance that I can't currently see a bit more awkward. But we're now starting much further down the field, of course. A 21 lap race, so yeah, it'll be a 2-stopper. So let's see what we can do right out of the gate. Away we are, 21 laps. Let's see if we can't gain a bit here early doors. We now have stronger brakes, of course. So let's see if we can't do that. Move over to the proper race view. Oh no, we're seeing positions dropping. They're battling straight down here into the middle of the pack. As we are now approaching a change in the weather. It should be moving over to full sunny. They're both struggling now. We are definitely gravitating towards the rear for reasons I don't quite understand. We shouldn't be. We should now start to hopefully gain a bit more. You guys can perhaps try and attack a bit harder, if you will. Thank you. Let's try and see. We need to start climbing back over. We're not going to do team orders at this point, given they're pretty much neck and neck in the championship and it's early days anyway. We're just going to have to try and work through these tyres, just get them to back off again a bit here so we don't overheat them and don't wear them out. 14 laps remaining, so we are definitely within 2-stop ratio here. Let's see down here. You need to pit first. Those tyres are far more worn out. So on lap 8, so yeah, that's looking fairly decent. Let's just fill you up here with 8 laps of fuel. And yeah, that's all looking good. Bring you in, and then the next lap round we can go ahead and pit in Santor. So Santor's now staying in second out here. You would get a set of mediums as well. You will get 8 laps, just under anyway, 8 laps of fuel. It's all looking good. And Varnanen has pitted, so that's looking good for her. She's out on another set of soft tyres. Santor comes in from second place, but the pit order's yet to cycle through, and we're going to be just outside. So we've jumped a number of people in that pit cycle. Santor's up to 10th, Varnanen sitting in 13th, but they're now sort of consolidating towards one another. Let's just get them off being too rough on their tyres at this point. Now the question remains whether or not we actually get them to be a bit more aggressive and pit them in, so we have a fairly average medium stint length or final stint length, or we could shorten out the final stint. That might actually be the most beneficial thing, so we have the freshest tyre towards the end should we be battling, as some of the front runners are now pitting in for their first or their second cycle of tyres. The brake seems quite spongy. Yeah, they're fine. They're going to hold out, don't worry. 5 laps remaining. Box, 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 box. You're getting a fresh set of tyres. There'll be 4 laps remaining, so just give you 4 laps of fuel. Pit you in at here. So again, we are shortening the final stops as well, which will give us an advantage over those that stopped earlier, as we do have got refueling. So Santor's going to come in for a set of fresh soft. You're going to get 4 laps of fuel. All is going to be looking fine as you go through the race. In you come down here. Everything's a bit jumbled up now, but we are hoping we can do some magic with a strategy right now that's going to bring them further up into the field. Yes, and Tor's going to come out in 9th, and Varnanen's going to be sitting 10th. So we are performing very well with the pit stops. That's what's bringing us back into the game after a fairly poor start out. We can actually get aggressive now with this, as both would be within striking distance of at least one more position. So we're just going to have to try and do that here towards the end. See, no, you're going to just have to make it work. And we are not going to bring in anybody out here. You guys are just going to have to race each other. It is the final lap of the race. Final lap here. Just push, push hard. See if we can't gain a position here towards the end. Closing in on Liao. They're within a second. They might be able to, but no, I don't think so. It's a clean run towards the end. Oh, yes, here we go. Come on. Yes! 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 Good work from Santor. Grabbing Liao on the line. Quality driving. So indeed, just grabbing 8th on the very run to the flag. That was absolutely strong. No penalties have been dished out for rule violations, although I would imagine most people haven't gotten to the point of developing those parts just yet. That was quality stuff right there from both drivers. Santor clearly taking a massive benefit from having a new engineer and a permanent engineer again, and somebody who is very competent indeed in Becky Kiragawa. So that's looking very good, and relationship improves. Morale is looking good. Varnanen has got a dodgy neck. Oh dear, that's not good. That's not good. How long are you going to have that? For 8 weeks. So we might want her to sit out for the next couple of races. That will give our reserve driver a chance to take some laps behind the wheel of the car in a race, which would be interesting certainly. A hard-fought win. Interview with Channel 6. Let's accept an interview. After your win, Bobby Stone, thinking of working with in the future? I mean, anything can happen in motorsport. I don't care. I genuinely don't care, because he's probably not going to be within our range any point of view. We're going to do this up in here. We might want to look into... Yeah, we're struggling with the engine as well, so we might want to spend some money on a new engine or two. We can do that right there and give a massive boost, and that's probably what we want to do. Fuel efficiency. isn't really something that's particularly concerning me at the moment, but I could be very wrong in that. So we'll get that sorted out. Repair completed. Let's just make sure everybody's improving the parts they need to be improving. Right in here, improve the brakes. Improve. That's the good engine, so we're going to keep that one for at least a little bit. Actually, disregard that. Let's start improving the suspension reliability and also a gearbox reliability. That's probably the one that we're going to hold on to longer, so we're going to go for that one. So our engine design has been completed. Thank you, Scarlett Moore, for sending me an email so we can go ahead and start getting that one all banged up. Look at that. That is pretty low, isn't it? Yeah, so let's get started on that for now. What happened there? Something just popped up and disappeared. Maybe it's just being weird. I don't know. We now have the report coming in for the race at Tondela. 32 lap, a 10% chance of rain. It'll be gearbox, well, full speed. So yeah, it's a handling circuit, not a power circuit. That should be fairly decent for us anyway. Let's just pause here, check in with the car improvement situation. That engine is absolutely top stuff right now. Let's go ahead and improve on brakes. Just for now, so we can improve that as well. We can improve the 2 brakes. We can improve the 2 engines as well in terms of performance. Reliability wise, let's just get some other componentry sorted out as well, as we can do that as we prepare also to travel to Tondela. Here we are again. Vardanen is indeed injured, not looking good for her, so we're going to have to leave her in, and Senki will have to take over for us. We'll go with Ranchai Industries. We will make sure really that they we haven't fitted the new engine. Well, we're going to give that one to Santor, as she is going to be our main driver. That'll be that here, I would expect so. Very quickly, yeah, we're going to give Santor the best parts that we have at our disposal, given that she's in the championship contention. And indeed, it will be Santor and Key that goes into the car setup-wise. High downfalls, I would expect so, yes. So let's go ahead and bang in a bit of downfalls on this car. Send out on super softs just to see. Although what's the expected lap of those? 8 to 10. Probably might be the one to go for. We'll find out anyway. Let's go ahead and increase the downfalls as well for Key's car. Needs to be improved quite significantly actually. Right, here we are. Let us see with you on super softs as well what we can do. Take the practice session. Send you guys out on the pretty much standard installation lap, just so we get a baseline performance report from you two. Get you both in for me, thank you. And in they come. Downfall's not looking good for Santor. What are we looking at here really? Are we looking at increasing the downfalls even more? Let's try that then. Drop the gearing a fair old whack. We will see in terms of suspension. We can sort that out a bit later on. We might want to move over onto the soft tyres, actually get some data on those now. Downforce wise here, I think we were a bit more aggressive with Key's setup here, and that is indeed proving out to be correct here. So just even more downforce. Pretty much maxing it all out. Let's just see here, and you likewise will be going onto soft tyres for now. Let's see if we can't yield some useful information out to you. I reckon this lap might be a bit short, so in terms of fuel burn it might be looking at the soft tyres. But let's see here, once feedback starts coming in from the two drivers we might know a bit more. Here, aero setup way better, aero feeling way better. Lovely stuff coming in here. Let's see, yeah, the unlocking setup levels, it's all looking good. We're just churning out these laps. Let's see here, staying dry, speed balance feel better, handling feels good. Yeah, they seem very happy indeed with the setup they've been given. Let's go ahead and bring in Santor, just so we can check over her setup. That is certainly crucial out here. Great across the board. That might already be, yeah, 93. Maybe we just want to whack it up a bit more with downfalls. See here what the report is on that. It is a fairly minor tweak anyway, so it shouldn't be too severe. Just a tiny little comment from her will do us very good indeed. Meanwhile, Key is gonna, let's bring her in this lap by, just to get a bit of a change going as well, so we get more data. Out here, Santor's not giving us any feedback really yet, which isn't great. Anyway, Key is looking at what? A 94% setup. So that was good, and that was good. So maybe we've overdone it here a little bit. Let's just try and wean it back in. We can see it here, 3-lap stint. We're not going to get to that with 2 minutes remaining, so she'll go out here. And we will see what we find. And if we can actually get to the maximum level, we did maximum knowledge level as we enter the final minute. Don't think we'll get that for the soft tyres. I think we need to be running those the whole session in order to get that. But both drivers seem very happy. No, we have done, so we've got full knowledge level for tyre-wise. Both drivers appear happy with this, but we'll see here in a quick moment. Once this checks out, yeah, we would expect Key to be a bit slower first to race after all, but in here we go. Thank you with this. Let's see here. Yeah, we can't really do anything other than this. Right here, so car setup wise, she's still... Oh, we've actually gone backwards. Yeah, that would actually make sense. Might want to just dial it back just a little bit. Just to see here, that might be the good spot for her. We're going to start her on a 32-lap race with 13 laps of fuel. So yeah, we definitely want to be starting on soft tyres. And then, yeah, as Key starting pole, she will be on, yes, super softs. That will only last her 9 laps, however, at most. So we'll give her 9 laps worth of fuel, and we'll see where this takes us out here. Can we actually see the grip positions and what they're on? Yeah, it looks to be the right decision down here. There's only Schrober who's on super soft, starting behind Santor, which really is the one we're going to be going for. But here we are on the start line at Tondela for round something or other. Away we are. Let's see here. Get you to be quite aggressive here on just the opening lap, so we're not dropping too many positions. It might be beneficial to just be a bit aggressive here and just absolutely thrash it around. That might be what everybody else is doing. Let's see here, Keys dropping down to third, but up into first now. Fourth, third. Wow, it's a massive scramble at the front. That would have been an exciting lap on television. Meanwhile, Santor, you're just going to back off here a bit. Try and make those soft tyres last. You've held on fairly decently out here. Key, meanwhile, is looking very good up here at the front. Let's just get her to back off as well. We don't want to wear down those tyres too much. Santor's dropping a little bit here. You go ahead and just get her to push on a bit harder now. I think that might be down to that. I think technically we can see that here. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Down into 17th for her. That's not great. But again, we know this. We're going to drop some positions here early doors, and then we're going to make some gains later on. So that's what we're going to have to bang on happening again today. As Key is looking fairly steady up in third place, with Santor in 17th, with somebody on super softs in front of her. That could end up being a position eventually. Let's move back to her. If she's downhand, that's a massive battle pack, really. It's very tight back here, so it does sort of make sense. We can go ahead, perhaps run her engine a bit higher, just to get a bit of a boost out of this, see if she can take advantage of that. As Key has dropped to 4th. We were struggling to get past Rogers. That's alright, we're just going to have to try and make this work out for us. No rain expected, it's quite dry, 21 degrees, it's looking fine. But here we are, we're going to be almost 3 wide by the looks of things. Just really struggling back here in such a tightly packed field. But again, we're now going to get Key to just push on, bring her in. Right out here we have getting her onto soft and 13 laps. And that's bang on, she's just made critical lap right now. So that couldn't be any better for her, really. Centaur, meanwhile, is also doing a good job. She just needs to hold on in there. Because we now know that we're critical lap in terms of a 2-stop strategy, certainly for the first stop. So that's good. Anything we do now will be a gain later on. Indeed, she's in. We'll get her off the aggressive mode here. Yeah, what we might want to do is make Santor's stint next stop, or we'll make her first stop short and then run along a final stint just to jump them in the pit cycle, because if we short fuel her, that's less time stationary. That could be a significant gain in positions for her, but we will see. Key has dropped significantly, it seems, because Dreyfus, who was out front, has come out right in front of Santor, who is actually making fairly decent running on these tyres. Let's just get her to burn off what she has here. But we will see here, bring in Santor by the end of the next lap here, and out on a set of soft tyres. Actually, no, maybe we want to go super softs out here. Let's try and run this one. We can do, what, 13 laps, so we need 9 laps of fuel for this stop. And that should be doable on super soft. And then we run her long at the end. Let's try that. It's worth a gamble every now and then. And see what we can do out here. Key sitting in 10th. Hopefully it'll work out well for her. Let's see, she's pulling out here now. We've yet to see everybody complete their stops, but Santor, you need to now back off here actually and be a bit gentle, because those tyres are going to wear out fairly quickly if you're too aggressive. We just need her to make lap, what is it, lap, what we're doing, 32 laps, lap 19 for Santor is going to be the crucial lap. Anyway, when we know there's 13 laps remaining, we know we can bring her in. Meanwhile, Key, you'll have to try and just hold off there. You're in 7th place. And Santor's now making some decent gains out here. Oh, it's going to be quite close for Santor. She'll have to back off a bit, as Key's also starting to struggle with tyre wear. You'll also have to just back off here, because there's 15 laps remaining and you guys need to extend this run a bit more. This might not pay out for us. Let's bring in Key. She's going to be struggling on those tyres out here, so bring her in with 40 laps remaining, so it's going to be close. And again, fuel wise, it's going to be difficult, so she's going to have to back off a fair old whack here to make this last to the end. So yeah, this is not ideal for us one bit, but at the very least, Santor, yeah, just get you to be conservative on both. You've actually made it on fuel now, so that's good. You can go ahead and pit in and come out on a set of soft tyres, as we do fill you up enough. Actually, you will have 11 laps remaining, so we can shave off a bit of time here. So doing this should yield some good stuff for us, and she was right in immediately. Let's just see. Key's dropping down to 9th, Santor's down to 12th. But they're both looking after their tyres here towards the end, and it's all still a bit mangled up in terms of the standings. We are just going to try and monitor the situation here. See, with 9 laps remaining, they could burn through the tyres a bit too quickly for my liking, but we will see. Everybody has pitted now. Dreyfus has actually pitted 3 times, and she might need to do another stop. So she might have driven herself out of the race with that strategy. And now we've got Kanjo pitting in from the front. More pit callers coming in here. So your tyre temperatures are getting low, but you need to also make these tyres last. We can give you a bit more here. But you're going to have to make these tyres work. That's all I really can say. Some of these people might be banking on a 3-step. But Dreyfus has pitted 4 times. Christ alive. That's shocking, really. But yeah, we're just going to have to try and make this work. 2 laps remaining. And you guys got warm tyres, but you're going to have to make it work, guys. There is literally nothing I can do here. You just have to make it work, and we just need those points and achieving our sponsorship objective. Because we're delivering a very strong performance as we enter the last lap. Santor, you can just go ahead and take everything out of it. That really is all we can do. I'm not sure Key might not make it here. She does say she has excess fuel. She's coming up here to the end. And Santor's taking a position. She's up into 8th. Good work. That was a very strong performance by everyone here. Absolutely top stuff. We didn't win, but we absolutely maximised our outcome here. Key getting a strong 6th. And Santor getting an 8th place with a decent point scoring haul for her. And indeed confirmed, we had no retirements, no post-race penalties issued, 6th and 8th. Good points coming in here. Simone gains at least 1 position in the Drivers' Championship. And Key is dropping a bit. Yeah, that's alright. Vixala, we're sitting in 5th, so we are just 1 spot off where we need to be and 1 point behind. We might be able to gain a bit more, so we're actually gravitating towards the front of the grid now. And yeah, the weird thing of driver morale dropping for reserve driver, even though she had a very strong performance in the race, seems to continue. Apparently, yeah, she's doing quite good, morale's good, everything is fine for her, and Simone is gaining with her mechanic, so that's good. That's looking very good, and lots of money coming in, quality stuff. Let's see what we can throw them at. I reckon we could possibly spend it on a new engine for the other car. But let's just have a quick look here at what we're seeing. Car condition update, 25 hours. Pit report, it was slower, winds, whatever. Let's see what the interview is about. Simone Santor's claim that your brake seems to be holding the team back. And technical commentators seem to agree. Is it true? Yeah, she just needs to be quiet. Which didn't give us any negativity right here. Anyway, yeah, we might want to grab another engine here. Just delivering performance. We can add, again, top speed. I don't like those. Those are not worth going for in the slightest because they've got a risk level. We might get a penalty after the race. And that's just a massive increase to our red zone, which I'm not really willing to do. Yeah. So we can actually pop you in here, right? And see, and then we will unlock for the next engine if we decide to go for it this season. We will have a lot of good stuff coming in. But yeah, your performance is 211. Let's see what we can do. Risk level again, don't want to go for that. That one doesn't actually give us reliability. That one gives us an increase in reliability, but we don't need that. We're going to develop that later on. So what we can do actually is put in fuel efficiency here. It'll stay as an average engine, but performance-wise it will deliver the performance, and we will have good fuel economy, which will benefit us greatly. So let's get that underway. Now we've got some sort of engine cooling system issue coming up. With a bit of disaster, we found a leak in her cooling system. The parts reliability will be out of the window if we can't fix it. Yeah, let's go ahead and make the fix. Just right there we have the money. Sponsorship wise, we have an open slot coming in from Notifly, which probably we won't really go for, doesn't seem worth it for us. So car repair complete. Let's just make sure they're improving the right part all in total. So we can go ahead and we can scrap that engine actually, because that will be replaced. Down here, yeah, that's looking about right. So let's shift also a bit more focus. We can actually have parts made fully reliable by that time, but let's not do that. In terms of performance, we can improve the gearboxes somewhat. And that engine is being worked on. Those 2 sets of brakes are being worked on. We could also do it down here. Let's go with a gearbox because that'll be done fairly quickly. So let's try and do this right here. We need to work on the performance right now. It's basically 3 upgrades in terms of performance on track if we get those parts upgraded. So as the days tick on, that is indeed what we're doing. We need to work on the pit crew as well. Apparently we just lose them all, which is very weird. Don't know why. Let's hire in. I mean, these are all fairly average, aren't they? We'll get Sumusalo. And we'll get Markula to come in as well for the team, which is all we really can do. Put you on tyres, because that guy is absolutely terrible at doing tyres. Likewise, I mean, why is everyone we have working the pits so terrible right now? I mean, that's absolutely shocking, frankly, that we have nobody that's fairly decent available for us. But anyway, we'll continue. And we finished building the engine. Let's go ahead and start improving on that one immediately. Where is it? It's under engines, mate. Probably is able to find it under engines. Let's grab these out here. Just throw away all of that and just get the reliability just banged right in there. Actually just improve that one as well. So we are seeing some performance increases out here. We also have got the potential introduction of weight stripping, which I'm not really going to go for. I think we might actually throw our weight behind this one. Let's vote against with 3 votes. Actually, we don't really know how that's going to pay out. This rule will not benefit the traditional teams. So yeah, we want to be voting against this. Let's have a vote with 2. See what we can do. Just get it over with fairly quickly. Because, yeah, that was rejected, thankfully. But people are now starting to throw in a lot of votes here. Vote stripping has been rejected. Sponsorship-wise, we have got Wonderluck coming back in. Which really, you know, we can go for somebody better, I suppose. Of course, we saw somebody with Elite Designer thing coming up in here. Working with Scarlet, a bit jealous. Not that she's a bad designer, but I just can't help feeling we can do better. I mean, you shouldn't have broken or, you know, sprained your neck or whatever it is that you did. So shut up and just do your thing. That engine needs to be improved significantly. Let's just throw all our weight behind improving that engine. Now our mechanics appears to be complaining. You heard rumours that they're not happy working in the factory. They do have quite long hours. Yeah, let's give them a bonus. We have the money. Might as well, really. To be fair. What about our pit crew? Is there anything we can do out here? Has anybody become available that are decent? No! They've all sort of left us, and just that bloke right here, for example, he's absolutely terrible. Like, that's an improvement. Anyway, so let's try and just keep that going. Let's just pause and have a review of our sponsors here. I mean, they're not great. Quite frankly, I'm just going to hold off and see if anybody else comes along, because they're just absolutely rubbish. So we're going to leave Vonanen behind once more. We're going to accept Van Chai with their fittings in. Let's just go over the cars here and see what we can do. We are going to fit that engine, which is a new one. It's not as good, but I think that's just because we haven't really improved it yet. So Shen Ki is going to have a decent engine. Centaur's going to have the best brakes, and yeah, that's looking about right in terms of all of that. So yeah, it's starting to look like a fairly good car all in all. Yeah, Pini Spar it is. All dry, and Sen Key will be in the car. Simone Santor will be in the car. Let's just go over the setups here and see what there is for Santor. We have really no real indication here what might be beneficial. So we'll just confirm that. Let's see what Shen Key wants to see. Yeah, I mean, it's all within the performance brackets we want to see in the setup, so we'll go ahead and send them out here on a quick installation lap and see what they find. Same with Key, but hopefully everything will be fine with this setup. I'm not sure if it will be. It's fairly middle of the road, so they're coming in now at the end of Penis Spa, which is very good to see. Out here, yeah, setup. There's improvements to be made. Indeed, there is 71, so we might want to just increase the downforce a bit. Here, what else about this? We might want to drop the gearing. We'll leave the suspension settings as it is. Let's stay out on the soft tyres. Key, well, you'll get a bit more downforce on top of this. We'll see. You're quite happy with your handling. Let's try and give you a bit longer gearing and send you out again on the same set of soft tyres. Might actually unlock the final performance level for tyres now. As out we go. Let's see, once the feedback comes in from the drivers, what we get. Both running good engines now. Downforce has gotten a bit worse. Bring it in. Let's see with Antonov what we can do about that. Thankfully her feedback level is fairly high. Oh, we've gone completely the wrong way for the car. We might want to increase the speed. So where were we? We were good and then we were okay. So let's try and lower this down a bit here. Just seeing what we can do. See, just increase the gearing. Let's see here and also make it hard on this. Center out again on the softs and see what we get from this. Key seems a bit happier with what she had. Actually, she seems quite happy in her feedback, but we might find it's different when she comes in, as she is right now. Although she does sound fairly content with everything I've given her. So let's see, once you reach this pit lane, it is gear ratios are way too short to bring her in. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely lovely. 94%. Do we think perhaps then that we want to increase a bit more downforce here for her? See if that's going to do some good stuff out here. Send her out on... Let's just send her out on a bit longer than that and out on the same set of soft tyres. Our Santor's bringing it in as well. We've got excellent handling for her. But the downforce, yeah, we might want to just give her downforce. I believe it was in that bracket we had it. Let's just see down here. Pull, very pull, pull. So, I don't know, very pull and pull. So did she say she was hitting the limiter? She might have been banging on the limiter. So let's try and sort that out. We want to bring you into about here. See, that's about it really, but yeah, that might be it. It's not looking good though. I don't think Santor's going to have a setup that's anywhere near what she needs for the car. We're just going to have to hope and see that we're going to have it right here. Downforce was bang on for Key, so Key might have a very strong car for this race, and she should be starting fairly high up in the order as well. Let's just get them all running through. Oh, Santor's happy. We nailed it for her. Wow. We haven't really unlocked anything here as much as we have done before, so I think that's just a product of the circuit being quite long. But yeah, no real... Why didn't Santor... She set a time. Don't know why that didn't come up. That's weird. That's very weird. Anyway, we're here on the race at Penis Spa. I'm not sure what we can do here. Let's just get this. See what this is. Yeah, that's looking good. Soft tyres. Soft tyres. Let's just see what we can do here with the setup. See if she's happy. That's 97, so that's a good setup out here. So we want to try and work on that, just the downforce changes that we might want to work on. 22 lap race, and yeah, fuel options, you'll be running 9 laps, so we should probably have thrown our weight behind the super softs. Oh well, it's a bit late to change that now. We've actually gone the wrong way here, so we might want to drop the aero just a bit down to about here, and that should bring everything much closer to being great. So that should be a good balance for her. Let's just see down here again, you starting on that, you starting on that. It's annoying that you can't save the current setup, I think, in any way. But yeah, full fuel load, 22 laps, we'll be running. Yeah, that's looking good. Let's see what we can get out of this right here. Yeah, Key starting second. I counter that, so we just go ahead, be aggressive here on the opening lap, especially for Key. Key needs to be aggressive. Lights out, away we go. Lap 1, Key's gone off to the lead with a pretty significant margin of already a second over Claudia Dreyfus. And Santor's also doing a fairly decent run. You can go ahead, actually just back off a little bit here. You don't really need to be putting away that much. Santor, meanwhile, is battling back in the middle backpack, which is not really the technical term, but yeah, get you on overtake mode as well. You've got a strong engine as well, so you should be doing far better than you are. You're dead last. Dead last, so she's not really good early on in the race. She's dropping a lot of positions early on. Let's not burn too much back here, just wasting that. If there is a safety car coming out, we'll have to pit in. Oh, she's just taken everybody. Suddenly she's taken everybody back here, but now she's dropping, yo-yoing a bit. Let's just try and mind the engine here. Keys in first, just leading with a second and a half now. Santor, she's starting to wear out those tyres, so just get her to back off a little bit. She's where she needs to be, but she makes this a lot harder on herself, really. And she needs to. She's now down into 16th as well, but her tyres are pretty hot right about now, and tyre wear seems to be pretty even. We've got 17 laps remaining. Let's bring in Santor. It's just not working out for her. We've got 17 laps remaining, so that'll be 2 stints on that. Just get her to fill it up entirely. We can see what we can get out of this. But yeah, it's not looking good for Santor right now. She's the one that should be delivering the performance, and she, quite frankly, isn't. Just get her out here to try and be a bit lean on the engine, because I think it's going to be critical here. Let's see, out here Santor, and we've got Key. Let's bring her in. Full a set of super softs, fill her up, nice and good. That's looking good, that's looking good. So she's coming in now from the lead. That's quite alright. Santor, meanwhile, is what? Yeah, I don't care. I just need to speed up time here and see where everybody sort of comes out. Key still leading of those that have pitted, so that's very strong. Santor, meanwhile, seems to have jumped a bunch, even though she seems to be dropping a little bit now. So we just get her over onto medium engine mode again. I think she would have extended what little she needed to extend here. Yeah, she sort of just gravitated back there. Meanwhile, Key is leading out here dominantly. So Santor really should be delivering a bit better than she currently is. But at the very least, we're getting to the point where she can pit in for her final stop soon. And then we can just go ahead and leave her on a bit more aggressive engine mode here with 10 laps remaining. So coming up here in one more lap, she should be good to go towards the end. Key, meanwhile, is leading. Stone Jr. is taking second place, so we're now trying to just monitor this as good as we can. Just get her off being too aggressive. She's now getting up here, so others are pitting. People with damaged stuff. Simone Santor's now running low on fuel, so let's bring her in. 8 laps remaining. A set of super softs it is for you. And a full stop. Actually, we can just pit you in here, just run you a bit short. That's looking good. Oh, wrong button. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. Stop. You're coming in for you, and you are being not quite filled up because you'll have 7 laps remaining by the end, as it says below. So let's go for that. Pit you in. right in here, and you've got Key. You can run another couple of laps. So let's try and do that here. Actually, you've been caught by Stone Jr. So let's try now and push a bit harder. We need to wear out these tyres. Drag everything we can out of them before we pit. He's only pitted once. So we're running fairly well out here. Let's see. Okay, so she's now been taken. So let's pit in Key as well. Put on a set of new soft. And she's going to be running. Yeah, that's looking good. So get her in on this lap. And I think they're all coming in here now. So this is going to be very close. All in all. And Santos down in 19th after that stop. But there's a whole lot of people who haven't pitted yet. We've got a mistake coming in. Key's going to be dropping positions significantly so off of this. But Stone Jr. for some reason has gone out on softs. So he's going to be quite weak here towards the end of the race. We'll just get Key off running too hard on the tyres. Santor, meanwhile, yes, she's looking fairly good. Back here in 16th with a few still to pit. Let's see where Key's going to work out in the end, because she's still sitting in second place, 2 seconds off the back here. This could get very interesting towards the end. You can go ahead and start attacking a bit more than you are. As Key, you just need to mind your tyres a bit more. 4 laps to go. She's sitting in second place. Yeah, I don't think she's going to get him. I think he might have got the tyres to make this last towards the end. As Santor here is sitting fairly good. Front wing low for her, but she's just going to have to push on, really, and we're going to have to just make this work now. Although, yeah, you're down in 19th. It doesn't really matter. You just have to push on now. You need to just take out everything here and make it work. Final lap, make it work. You just have to hold out here. Come on, Key, you're going to get a second place. You are going to get bloody second place here. If you just hold on, and you are. And Santos, unfortunately, dropping positions. He's struggling back there. She is struggling. That wasn't a good race for her at all, and I don't think there's anything I could have done with the strategy to make it work. But, crucially, second place for Key, getting us good points for the Constructors' Championship. And yes, indeed, second place, good point scoring haul. Nobody has been demoted as a result, so Santos still sitting in 8th, with Key dropping up into 16th. And we are in 4th now in the Constructors' Championship. That's what we're aiming for. So that's looking very good indeed. So it took us a very long time to recover from the drama early doors with a double retirement. But we are now where we need to be in the Constructors' Championship. Maya Varnanen will be available for the next race, so it'll be good to have her back. She can try and take some advantage here as well out of this. There's a C out here. Yeah, it was not really good, but again, in terms of that, doesn't really matter. What can we do here now? I mean, we don't really need him, to be fair. He's absolutely rubbish. We can bring in this guy. Just get him on board, get him swapped out with, I would imagine, this tyre guy, who is just hopeless really in every way possible. And again, this guy is... he's not good, is he? But, you know, are we going to see... yeah, we saw a significant decrease in performance with him, so he's just going to have to stay on. An interview? Sure, why not? Hong Liao's agent, all the interested in signing up his client. Is this true? Not a chance. He's far below our standards. We're not really interested in that. There's no point really going for that. Anyway, that was the first half of 2017 here. It's looking strong. We recovered, as I said, very good from the double 9-point scoring at the start of the season. We can just start off here having a look over about parts. Actually, let's go in here to see improved parts. We can't do that just yet. So that'll be the first point next time. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.